Welcome to Street Culture, Season 1, Street Hustle, Episode 1, The Psychology of Hustle, Part 1. We're going to talk about the foundation. Focus on why the hustle starts in the brain before it hits the pavement. Scarcity versus abundance mindset. How growing up with not enough creates a hyper focus on survival. So, how does growing up with nothing or not enough creates a hyper focus on survival? So hii hustle tumepiga hustle sana. Tukigrow up, kuna wenye amegrow up kwa hustle, kuna wenye amegrow kwa ghetto, kuna wenye amegrow kwa higher income, kuna wenye amegrow kwa middle class, na kuna wenye amegrow kwa lower class. So for those people who wenye amegrow kwa life ya ghetto, au ndo wanaelewa like growing up without enough. So hapo ndo wanajua venye watasurvive na life skill. Perfect example, tuseme kwa let's say ghetto fulani, let's say ghetto X. Kuna boys fulani amegrow up na maparo na hustle, wote wawili wanapiga hustle, mother anapiga kazi ya hao, mzee anapiga hustle ya mjei. So through hiyo ana learn atagrow aje na hiyo survival. Unacheki without not enough. Yeah. Is this a superpower or a mental trap that prevents long-term scaling? So obviously mimi naweza sema ni mental trap because ina prevent long-term scaling. Perfect example, let's say we are the same guy amegrow up kwa ghetto X, ndio jamaa ameweka kwa akili yake that mimi siwezi toboka kwa hii life, Jumaparo wako hivi. Obviously hiyo mindset yake itamtrap for life na ataweza ku capture venye anadai in life. So I'm going to explain to you what is lower, middle, high and ultra income class. Lower class ni watu wa ghetto, watu hawezi afford vitu basic. Middle class ni watu wanaweza afford vitu basic na vitu extra. High class ni mamillionaires. Ultra high class ni watu mabillionaires and so. So I'm going to give you example of each class. Lower class ni akina wase wa ghetto. Middle class ni watu kaa wasanii au watu wanaanza life. High class ni watu wenyewe wako na do ni venye hawajajulikana according to the statistics. Ultra high ni watu kaa kina Onye, watu kaa Kasongo wenye wanajulikana na statistics according to their wealth. So I'm going to give you a story about the lower, middle, and high class or ultra high class. So this kind of lady. She's in the lower class ako ghetto. Anapiga hustle zake. Then anaweza afford kufika Nairobi akapata job fulani yenye nampea ganji. Middle class kuna beshte yake, middle class mwenye ya kazi yake tu ni kukaa kijani kwa wazazi wao, anashinda kusema ati sipati job, na yako kijani na hezi jitokwa kwa keja apige shughuli zake. High class ni hao watu kaa let's say nisponya huyo day. Kazi yake tu ni kuoffer ganji ndo apate the kuchi, ndo aweze kugonga ya kuchi, ndo aweze kuwa satisfied. So delay gratification in a right now world. The psychology of the Marshmallow Test applied to the street, choosing a long-term brand over a quick shady flip. What is a quick shady flip? A quick shady flip ni kitu unatafuta kitu iko quick ndio uweze kuafford your lifetime, but ikifika wakati inaenda chini ka shit, inaenda shua chini. Alafu kuna long-term brand. Yaani una create brand yako sahi yenye haikupei profit sahi ama profit sahi, but later in life inakujanga profit inaenda hivi juu ka kitu kingine. So eternal locus of control. Shifting from the system is rigged against me to I will find the crack in the system. The system is rigged against me. Ile mentality tunasema like for example hii system yetu ya tax imepandishwa juu, kila kitu imepandishwa juu ya tax. So kuna watu wana complain, unasema bana, Kasongo ametuweza, hatuwezi achieve kenye tunataka kwa life. Lakini kuna wenye wameangalia system ya Kasongo, wakaona tax iko juu, wanasema hii tax iko juu ya sikatai, but what will I do ndo nipate hiyo ganji. Thank you. Two of this discussion is mental warfare and resilience. How to handle the inevitable losses without breaking. Reframing failure as data in the streets. A failed venture isn't a funeral, it's a tuition fee. How to analyze what went wrong without ego. So hapa umeblunder. So instead of blaming people, unaangalia what have I done wrong, or what is this team like, what have I done wrong, the sales is done. Perfect example is one CEO ametengeneza sales zake zikashuka, so anaangalia like what have I done wrong, or what has the team done wrong. Anakitisha team chini, anayouliza what have we done wrong. Then through that knowing, anauliza what next. Another example ni mtu anatengeneza profit zake zikashuka. Yeah, instead of kuketisha chini ajihumble, anashinda kucomplain, anasema you're not providing. Inamfanya akwe low. The imposter syndrome of the self-made, feeling like you don't belong in professional rooms despite having more skills than those inside. So unaangalia like uko kwa place, kuna ma CEO, kuna ma managers, kuna ma directors wa bigi, na kuna HODs. Na wewe ni msee ama wewe ni CEO mdogo na hauna kitu, hauna hizo stuff zote, but uko na skills, so you feel like you don't belong. Another one is decision fatigue, the mental cost of making 100 small hustle decisions a day. How to automate your life to save your brain power for the big moves. So, like for example, uko na a lot of workload. You plan yourself for how to manage that stuff. So you develop a new strategy on how to do it. Perfect example, kuna two CEOs. One CEO ako na workload na anatumia planner kutengeneza plan yake on how to manage his or her workload. Kuna mwingine ako na a lot of workload na yeye kabla kutumia planner ana risk it all, anafanya kazi yote at once and end up failing. Yeah, stressing on the block, practicing expecting the worst so that when a deal falls through or a partner flakes, you stay level-headed. Any place yenye unaangalia deal inakaa kuwa safi, ama partner yako anakaa make kitu fit, lakini partner yako ana flake na deal inaenda chini, you wonder what to do next. Now that's where you plan on how to do next. The thing we're going to talk about is part 3, the social psychology of the streets. The hustle is 10% product and 90% people. How? Hustle is 10% product, 90% wase. So, product inafaa kuwa like 10%. Like, how should I explain to it? Like, product inafaa kuwa sparse, ndo watu waweze kuipata. Unacheki, ndo watu wengi wakimbililia kwa hiyo sparse product. The vibe check, intuition, the science between gut feelings, how one's subconscious picks up on micro expression of dishonesty and desperation. So the vibe check, yani intuition. We say tuko na intuition, niko na ka feeling. Unayo ka feeling una feeling in life. Yali feeling na kufanyanga ujue mtu ni legit ama ni mtu anaongea tu jaba. Yeah. Perfect example, there's a business CEO, let's say he runs a clothing company. Akona model anadai apigishe luku, akaishifre, vitu hizo. Lakini jamaa wakipatana anaongea ni ka kikono. So intuition ya jamaa inasema ati jamaa ni kikono, anaisikia. Kuna another incident, anasikia jamaa ni kona, bado anaendelea na yeye na busy na shuka chini. Social capital versus financial capital. Why who knows you and trusts you is worth more than a bank balance. How to build favor debt. So hii inakuja na nani anakujua. Kijuana na msee unapata favor. like perfect example for artists. Unapata Tipsy G anajuana na Godi 10. So kujuana na hiyo unapata anapigisha collab fit, walitengeneza dobe inaitwa TikToker. TikTok anapenda kuzitoka. TikTok anapenda leimbwa, sorry I forgot the words but let me try to remember it again. Big Bomb anapenda kuzitoka. TikTok anakonga TikToker. Big Bomb anapenda stick proper. Big Bomb vela kona Big Bomb. Wala venye walitengeneza hiyo dobe ina rhyme na inatoa feeling fit hadi ikapata mayo TikTokers wengi wana dance nazo. Mirroring and rapport. How to adapt your language and body movements to fight into a boardroom 1 hour and a back alley market the next. So perfect example. Body language yako na lugha yako. Boardroom ni tofauti na market. So boardroom unafaa kuongea ngoso fresh. Perfect example. Niko kwa CEO. Hello sir, how are you? How are you doing? I have come here to explain to you this deal. So and 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 so. Do you agree with this deal? Yes? Atasema yes or no. Kwa market ni sona ngoso. Sasa hiyo ni market language. And that previously ni boardroom language. The crabs in a bucket, the theory. The psychological toll of outgrowing your environment and how to handle the guilt of leaving people behind. Perfect example. The people say, well, once you grow, it's not a must you leave. You stay with the people who are pulling you down. So unapata like our jamaa manatengeneza like uko na deal fit, but for that you have to leave a certain place. You have to learn how to handle that guilt so you can be able to handle that deal. The next thing we're going to talk about is part 4, longevity and the exit mindset. Avoiding burnout and turning a hustle into a legacy. Aji, umepiga hustle lako baya mbovu. So this is where legacy comes in. Una invest hustle lako kwa something else. Or you make your hustle as an investment. When you start it, ukigrow your investment, if there uachie legacy yako kwa watoi, grandchildren wako, unapata wako ka kitu ama wako na ka jiza kuweza. The identity trap. What happens when the hustle becomes your whole personality? What happens? Perfect example. For me, your host, Victor Karaoke, I'm an artist. So, first of all, when I started this hustle, I started it like kunitoa, like nipate pesa ya kuweza kufanya my stuff. Like for example, content creation. But for me, I'm good into skit. So I do art, I do music art, so I can be able to find the funds to do my skits and to do content. But I find that like the music is part of my life, part of it. So what do you do when it becomes whole of your personality? Continue with your personality, but through that you learn your boundaries. Ujue, ikifika hii place, it's about your hustle. Ikifika hii place is about this and this and this, and you should not allow it to mix no matter what. Burnout is a software crash, recognizing the signs of mental fatigue before you make a massive expensive mistake. Burnout is a software crash, recognizing the signs of mental fatigue before you make a massive expensive mistake. Ukiwa na burnout, you have to recognize. If you have recognized your burnout sahi, you have to know how that helps you a lot to help you to make a better of yourself, na uweze to make a very 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 expensive solution before you make an expensive mistake. The transition from player to coach, the psychology of delegation. Why many hustlers fail because they can't let go of control. Being a player than to coach. Player ni mchezaji kama Messi anapigisha game yake fiti. Then tuseme a change it to be a coach. A coach is a mentor, is a guardian. When you get out of the player room and go into the coach room, you become something. A lot of people fear to get out of the player room and be the coach room. Lakini wanaogopa kutoka kwa hiyo field na kumenta watu. Kumenta watu doesn't mean kutoka kwa hiyo field, but a lot of people think kutoka kwa hiyo field means kuwa coach means kutoka kwa hiyo field. Defining enough. The most dangerous psychological state is not knowing your number. When does the hustle stop being a means to an end and start being a cage? Watu hawajui kusema enough is enough. They keep on fighting for that hustle na inapata wanaenda deteriorate health-wise, wealth-wise, physical-wise, and also sexually-wise for those who are married. Thank you so much, and thank you for being into the Street Hustle podcast. I'm your host, Victor Kirago Karaoke. Thank you.